So hi everyone, so today we are with Richard Wood in Trondheim in Norway for the new interview of the Fly for the Earth project. So the weather is not good and there is so much rain, so we cannot fly today, but we are mountain biking instead of flying. And we'll speak you about Richard, who is associate professor at the Industrial Ecology program at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. We'll speak about the environmental footprints and sustainable consumption. So hi Richard.
Hi Nicholas, welcome to Trondheim, welcome to our beautiful weather that we have.
Thank you very much. So can you first present us what is environmental footprints?
Yeah, well, an environmental footprint is a way to conceptualize the impact that a population has on the environment.
Okay.
And it has roots about 20-30 years ago in the concept of an ecological footprint, where instead of thinking about, well, for a certain land area, how large a population can that land area support, the question was actually inverted to think about, well, actually, how much land is required to support a population?
Okay.
So then we can actually think about, because us people living in the cities and towns require a lot of resources, land area outside the places we live. So if we factor this in, then we can actually see, well, like the impact of our environment is not just the impact we have in driving our cars, but also includes the impacts of all the goods and services that we consume.
Okay.
So it allows us to think about all the environmental resources, the land, the water, the carbon emissions that occurred, and all the goods and services that we as consumers actually require to facilitate our lifestyles.
Okay.
This includes all the impacts in the food that we eat, in the computers we buy, in the flights we take, all of these impacts in the consumption that we have. So that's the environmental footprint concept.
Okay.
What is the resources required to support us as a population?
Okay, I understand. And how do you calculate this environmental footprint?
So these environmental footprints are calculated in various different ways. The way that we focus on is connecting a lot of data at the national level. Because of the increased role of trade, it's important to also include the way that steel is produced in China, the way that the steel is used in producing a computer in Hong Kong, and then the import of that computer into the consumption that we have in Europe.
Okay, I understand.
So we connect a lot of different databases, databases on energy use, air emissions, land use, water use, in order to aggregate these upwards into the overall environmental impacts in all the different production around the world that produces the goods and services that we eventually consume.
Okay, okay, I understand. And how can we reduce our environmental footprints? Is it possible to reduce it?
Yeah, well, that's exactly the point of the work that we try to do, is actually provide the information to consumers to allow them to prioritize what actions they could actually take in order to reduce their environmental impacts.
Okay.
So some of the, some of the big items are fairly classic ones that we know of: driving a car, taking overseas holidays with lots of flights.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of environmental impacts embodied in the food we eat.
Okay.
So the choice about what types of diet we actually take, in terms of the goods and services that we consume.
Okay.
These things, they do embody impacts. So what we're trying to do is make this information available to the public so that people can actually make an informed choice about what they can do to help reduce their environmental impact.
Okay. So is it easy to, if we go on the carbon footprint explorer, is it easy for people who don't really know about carbon footprints to understand how it can reduce his environmental footprints?
Yeah, well, we have this website that we've developed, www.environmentalfootprints.org, which allows people in different countries to see the environmental impacts of different types of consumption, different consumption groups that they have. So they can go in there. We have both regional detail and global analysis about also comparing what one country is to another country. So you can start kind of prioritizing areas, whether it's in the goods that we consume or whether it's the food that we eat. These are the areas that you'd actually prioritize some of your actions in informing your choices.
Okay, so it's Is there some people that really reduce their environmental footprints going on the website, or is it easy to use? Or
We're also working on trying to establish what would actually a green lifestyle look like.
okay,
So how can we actually kind of visualize what kind of people, what type of consumption that you have
yeah,
that has the lowest environmental impact? Because we know that it's not always so black and white as the people
Yeah.
who are living in a car-free society and these kind of things, because there's often a lot of international holidays taken
Yeah.
by these kind of people. A lot of manufactured item goods and services that are consumed as well. So the idea is to at least conceptualize what you could do and what kind of lifestyle could actually be led to lead to lower environmental footprints.
okay, I understand. Okay, so thank you very much, Richard, for a very interesting subject, and hope to see you soon in Trondheim.
Yeah,
And,
thanks. Thanks, Nicholas.
No,
Been a pleasure.
and see you soon for new interview of the Play for the Earth project. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.